Hey friends, it's your children's pastor, Jackie Monastra, here with you for another awesome Sunday. So, have you ever had to be brave when you were 100% terrified? Today, I'm taking the Bravery Box Challenge. We have a box and Mr. Alex has put different objects in it. I have to be super brave, reach in and guess what's inside. Are you guys ready? Here we go. All right, so I'm here, I'm blindfolded. I have my bravery box right here. Mr. Alex has picked out 5 different things that he's going to put inside the box. I have no clue what they are, and I'm also blindfolded, so I'm going to have to guess what they are by reaching in and feeling them. All right, let's do this.
All right, number one.
Number one. I'm so nervous. All right. Ah! Why do I feel like it's alive? Okay. Okay, it's a bunny stuffed animal.
Yes.
Okay. I really thought he was putting something alive in there, but I don't know where you would have got a live thing. Go catch a squirrel, I don't know. There's this whole thing about like you get your eyes taken away. It just makes you a little nervous.
Number 2. Go for it.
I'm so scared. Why is it cold? It feels cold already. Ew, what is this? Is this a dishwasher pod?
Yep.
Why did you get a dishwasher pod? That's not safe. Don't play with those at home, kids.
This one has to do more with... I had to put it inside a container.
You had to put it in a container? Like it's a bug?
No.
It's cold. Ew, why is it wet? Ew, what is this? Is it ketchup?
Yep.
Ew!
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Number 4.
Oh, just smell ketchup now. Oh, this is for sure an avocado.
Yep.
There's no way I'm wrong. This is the last one.
This is the last one. Number 5.
Ew, why is it soft? What is this? What is this?
Just keep going.
No, I'm so nervous. Why is it soft? Why is it soft? Why is it soft?
It guesses. What do you think it is?
Ew, is it a diaper?
Yeah.
Ew. Oh gosh. Just like how I faced some fears today, we're talking about a story about a boy who faced something really scary. A giant. Today we're going to read some bits and pieces of the 17th chapter of 1 Samuel. So if you guys get your Bibles out, we're going to turn to the book of 1 Samuel. And like I said, we're going to read some bits and pieces. We're doing something a little bit different because the story of David and Goliath is a very long story. So I encourage you guys at home to read the entire chapter with your parents. But today I'm going to read to you verses 2 through 11, verses 16, verse 32, 40, and 45 through 50. That's a lot, right? Okay, let's jump in. So verse 2. Saul countered by gathering the Israelite troops near the valley of Elah. So the Philistines and Israelites faced each other on opposite hills with the valley between them. Then Goliath, a Philistine champion from Gath, came out of the Philistine ranks to face the forces of Israel. He was over 9 feet tall. He wore a bronze helmet and his bronze coat of mail weighed 125 pounds. He also wore bronze leg armor and he carried a bronze javelin over his shoulder. The shaft of his spear was as heavy and thick as a weaver's beam, tipped with an iron spearhead that weighed 15 pounds. His armor bearer walked behind him carrying a shield. Goliath stood and shouted a taunt across the Israelites. "Why are you all coming out to fight?" he said. "I am the Philistine champion, but you are only the servants of Saul. Choose one man to come down here and fight me. If he kills me, then we will be your slaves. But if I kill him, you will be our slaves. I defy the armies of Israel today. Send me a man who will fight me." When Saul and the Israelites heard this, they were terrified and deeply shaken. For 40 days, every morning and evening, the Philistine champion strutted in front of the Israelite army. Verse 32. "Don't worry about this Philistine," David told Saul. "I'll go and fight him." Woo! Verse 40, he picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and he put them into his shepherd's bag. Then, armed only with his shepherd's staff and sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. David, are you kidding me? 5 stones against this giant? Okay, verse 45. David replied to the Philistine, "You come to me with a sword, spear, and javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today the Lord will conquer you, and I will kill you and cut off your head. And everyone assembled here will know that the Lord rescues his people, but not with sword or spear. This is the Lord's battle, and he will give you to us." As Goliath moved closer to attack, David quickly ran out to meet him, reaching into his shepherd's bag and taking out a stone, he hurled it with his sling, and he hit the Philistine in the forehead. The stone sank in, and Goliath stumbled and fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with only a sling and a stone, for he had no sword. Goliath was a giant. He was over 9 feet tall. He wore armor that weighed 125 pounds. That's like the size of a small woman, probably the size of some of your guys' moms. His sword weighed 15 pounds. That's the size of a light dining chair or like a somewhat heavy bowling ball. It's the size of a gallon of paint or 3 bricks. This guy was so insane that no one wanted to face him. No one wanted to fight him because it meant sure death, except for David. David had courage in a time when everyone was afraid. David was only a boy and a shepherd. He was so small compared to Goliath. He looked at Goliath and probably got a little scared. Man, probably more than a little scared. But David had one thing that Goliath didn't. He had God on his side. When we have God on our side, we can face any giant. We all have giants in our lives. Now, they don't look like 9-foot tall men with armor and swords, but we do face giants. A giant is something that seems too big for us to handle by ourselves. It may be a math test, doing online schoolwork when we've never done that before. It might look like being separated from your friends, having a friend who's mad at you, or having trouble at home. Your giant could look like fear of getting sick, or fear of not knowing what's going to happen, or not knowing when we're going to be able to go back to church or back to school again. When you think of the giant you're facing in your life right now, I want you to think of our big idea for today. Are you ready? Our big idea is this: God is with you. David's courage was fueled by the promises from God. We are God's, and that God is with us. David's courage was fueled by the power of God. God is on our side. When you face giants in your life, when things are scary or uncertain and they just don't feel right, remember that God is with you. Deuteronomy 31:6 says this: "So be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not panic before them. For the Lord your God will personally go ahead of you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you." God is with you, and he will never leave you. Even when you face your biggest giants, you will have victory because he is with you. All right, friends, happy Sunday. Have so much fun doing the activity at home with your families. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.